Your network is your net worth. Most of my clients are referrals, so that statement rings very true for me. Hi, my name is Joe Valle. I'm a personal branding videographer, and this channel is all about sharing tips using video, mindset tools, and narrative stories that build trust, connection, and ultimately help you build your own personal brand. Welcome on part 2 on how to connect with people using email. On this video, I'm going to break down the strategies on how to reach people you haven't met using email or messages on LinkedIn. And stick to the end because I have some book recommendations that will help you through this process and make your life easier. So let's go straight to the point. Let's start with why. Why do you need to connect with a specific person? Keyword specific. Be specific on your reasons. It has to be something so clear and simple. Now, acceptable answers to these questions are: you're curious about something they might know that you haven't been able to find with research. More of that in a second. For example, one person in my network has a small marketing agency. So when I was doing some research, I found out that she was here in Austin, and I wanted to connect with her because she will probably lead me to other connections, and also I need to expand my portfolio with specific clients. My specific niche is working with coaches. See what you coach, she works with other coaches. I could see an opportunity to expand my portfolio. That was the reason why I did my research and connected with her. So that was my reason. What will your reason be? Now, step 2 is to read your research. Now, this is very important. You want to become like a journalist, searching every corner of the internet online. There are 2 reasons for this. First, you want to know what you have in common with this person. You want to know if you're going to click together. And the second reason is that you don't want to ask them questions that could have been easily found in their, for example, About Me page. That will be super embarrassing. That shows a lack of professionalism. Do your research. Now, also, while you're doing your research, be on the lookout on things that you might help them with. Check for things that you can do easily for them, that can be like instantly, so that you're prepared to offer that help when the time comes. Also, if it's something that's super easy to do, you might want to try to just do it for them, and just when you send the message, say, hey, I noticed that you needed this. Here's a PDF document. I did it all for you. Now, the key here is expect nothing in return. Don't do this and as a quid pro quo thing. No, that is bad. That is not professional. Just be on the lookout. Just be, because you're a kind human being. An easy example that I want to share with you guys is that, of course, I'm a videographer. I'm a personal branding videographer. So I needed to build my portfolio with coaches. So it was very easy for me to network with them because, like, hey, I see that you don't have a video. Do you want a video? Because that will expand my portfolio. And of course, they will say yes because I did it for free. And as an example of how you can implement this strategy, be creative, but again, don't expect nothing in return. Now, step 3 is to actually write the email. Be as short as possible and specific as possible when you write this email. The subject line has to be clear and specific as possible. Don't write hi on the subject line. Instead, write something like this. If you follow a influencer, say something like, hey, I'm a fan of your work and I have a question about XYZ. Now, that's for the subject line. For the actual email, in the intro, you introduce yourself and you write down what you have in common with them, with the research that you already did previously, and also make sure that you write them how you found them, because you read their blog, because in social media, a quick search on LinkedIn, their website, etc. etc. After you have done the introduction, go straight to the point. Let them know that you find out about them using social media, the blogs, again using the research that you already did, and that you would like to ask them a question about X, Y, and Z. For example, let's say that you're trying to network because you're looking for a job and you're looking for a specific job in a specific company, and you want to know more details about what is the daily life look like for a person holding that position. You can ask them, hey, I'm on a quest to search for this kind of job, and I would like to know the details about the company culture before I start applying to other companies. Can I ask you 2 or 3 questions about how is the daily life on your company? That's something that I have done many times with many people on companies that I was looking for to apply for jobs. Similarly, you can ask them for your business. Hey, I'm looking at building this business and I'm looking at this target market or these type of clients. You are a person that works with these kind of clients, or that you work in a similar field. I will ask you just 2 or 3 questions about how have you dealt with these type of needs before, and so on and so forth. Now, after you have made your case, make sure you make a call to action. Something like, hey, I would like to have a coffee meeting with you on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Be very, very, very specific with your time, because you don't want them to figure out the schedule for you. The reasons being that this person is probably a busy person, and that person has to make a lot of decisions during the day. You don't want them to spend 20 or 30 minutes of your time thinking about what time they want to meet with you or what time to schedule the meeting. Now you're probably asking yourself, Joel, it's their time. They should be thinking about the schedule. No. They are the busy person. You are trying to reach them. A busy person has a lot of things to do throughout the day, and they don't have the time to spend 20 minutes on figure out a time schedule. You want that answer to be automatic. You want them to give you a yes or a no, but more a yes. So if you say a time Wednesday at 4 p.m., they can immediately think, oh, Wednesday at 4 p.m., I do have that time available, or no, I don't have that time available. But then you're going to write also that you'll have other alternative schedules. And if push comes to shove, at the end you can add, if none of these work for you, I'm inflexible and I can work around your schedule. So see, you first give them time and then alternatives, and then you can work around your schedule so they don't have to think. Finally, end the email with saying just thank you for your time, and just click send. Now guys, don't worry, if you need an email template, I have one for you. Just click on the link that's going to be on the description, and I will have for you an email template that you can tweak to your liking. And if this video is giving value to you, please click subscribe. It helps the channel keep going. Now, make sure you have backup contacts. You don't want to make your project or start networking and just rely on one person. No, you have to contact more people. So make a list, like for example 10 backups, right? So you can reach out to them eventually, because we're looking here for a conversion rate. Not all the people that you're going to send an email are going to reply. Actually, most likely it's going to get ignored, because this is a skill that you're practicing. Now, a good conversion rate is 2 out of 10 emails, 3 out of 10 emails. If you start with that, you are off to the races. You're doing good if you get that kind of response rate. So bear that in mind. Now, step 4, and this is the most important step of all. Follow up. It's so important to follow up with the person who has replied, with the person who had a meeting with you. You have to continue the conversation. And how do you keep the conversation going? When you have that meeting with that person, actually ask the questions and listen. Actually listen to their advice, or actually listen to their responses. And when the meeting ends, you get to work and you get to implement the answers that they gave you, or whatever information they gave you. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to write back and you say, hey, I did X, Y, and Z that you recommended me, and this worked. This is important because that will signal to them that you actually listen and they did not waste their time on you. You know, everybody wants to be a good teacher and everyone wants to know if their student did okay. So it's very important that you follow up. And then after you make that initial follow-up, be sure to keep the conversation going every 3 or 2 months or so. And now on with the book recommendations. The number one book that I want to recommend to you guys is How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read this book years ago. It's a book that stands the test of time. It's Networking 101. That book is amazing, mind-blowing. It teaches you the social dynamics and what things that you need to do when presented with specific situations. This book is amazing and it literally will teach you how to win friends and influence people. That's the title. It gives that in the book. So make sure you read that book. I'll have a link for that book below. The second book recommendation that I want to give you guys is The Art of Witty Banter. Now that is like how to speak like Han Solo. It is the art of just talking, of speaking in language, of being charming, charismatic. So it's a great supplemental book to have around so you can practice the art of conversation. So now if you have watched this long, bravo, thank you for watching. But also I want to know your name. Drop a comment below, introduce yourself. I want to build community, I want to build friends in this channel. So say hi so we can start the conversation going. And I'll see you on the next video.